Job cost just went up by $15,000.
Oh, God!
The tree really did say, "You're coming with me" on the way down.
Уходи быстрее!
The math required to make this work perfectly is just crazy. Absolute respect for his skills and nerves of steel. Handling a tree he can literally walk through is a total nightmare. Featured here is a Mack R600 performing heavy-duty log hauling in Gualico, Olancho. The R-Series was the backbone of U.S. trucking for decades, and seeing it handle these dangerous slopes today proves why it's still trusted for high-risk timber transport.
¡Verga!
Watching this makes you realize why specialized climbing gear is worth every single penny. That skid steer was in a scary spot. Always better to use a long rope and pull from a safe distance away. I think he should outrun the load to stay straight. Giving it gas might feel wrong, but it's often the only way out. That blade's seen a lot of work over the years. A little extra sharpening might help it grab the wood even better. All right, let's see how this 2.36 inches cone handles that pine. It's definitely grabbing the wood fast, but notice how that metal sheet vibrates while it works. You can see him really fighting the machine because that chain is totally shot. It's not even cutting, he's just forcing it through, and that's when things get dangerous. Some folks say you should never start a top cut after a deep undercut like that. But hey, with a crane in the mix, the rules of physics feel a little different, don't they?
There it goes. That's it. Looking real nice.
Logging isn't just a job. It's a constant battle against the terrain every single day. Witness Canadian air crane heli logging in action. This grapple tagging process relies on precision ground crews to keep up with the massive lift capacity of these heavy lift birds during a prime strip. The combination of 100 miles per hour gusts and total ground saturation is a nightmare for any property owner in Florida. And that, my friends, is why we wear helmets. It takes some serious guts to drive that much weight through this kind of terrain day in and day out. That's a lot of wood to get through. Watching that Style 880 work is oddly satisfying, isn't it? Though I don't envy the guy who has to sharpen that massive chain by hand later. That's gonna take a minute for sure. Great rope work by the ground crew. They really kept things smooth and safe. The legendary Kockums Logma is back. Known for its telescopic boom, this Swedish-made machine was a game changer in the 70s. Great to see this piece of forestry history running strong in Värmland, Sweden. Logset 6F forwarders are known for fuel efficiency and operator comfort. Here, it's putting that torque to the test, moving nearly 9 cubic meters of wood through some very saturated soil. Starting off with these monster red pines, the crew is putting that Gilbert Pro 25 to work. Without hydraulic assistance, every turn of the wood is a challenge. They're keeping the cuts precise by changing blades every 2 hours of runtime. Seeing these 16-foot red pine boards come off the mill really shows what this small machine can do.
Heads up!
Fell once or twice.
On a house, but now we've got a crane on a camper and half the block's power knocked out.
It's alright, you can catch the video here in a little bit. Chet got it all on video, dude. So was I. He got it all on video. Watch out, Mike. Watch out. El Petrie. That's gonna send it towards the garage, isn't it? Oh my God. Yeah.
If he stayed on that ladder, he'd be crushed right along with it.
Fucking crazy.
Hey, freak! Hey, let's rope that other one off again.
Ever seen a gearbox like this in action? We're looking at a 1:25 ratio reducer paired with a 7.5 horse gasoline engine. It's making quick work of those logs, isn't it? Well, that's not exactly how dominoes are supposed to work. Cutting a 5-foot diameter spruce is tough enough, but doing it over your head without a springboard is another level. He's actually leaving extra holding wood to protect the houses nearby. That's why he's struggling so much with those wedges and that heavy sledgehammer.
Alright, there she is right there.
It's incredible to think about the sailors who run these ships year-round. While we stay safe on land, they deal with this biting cold and shifting cargo. The ocean doesn't care how big your ship is. It's always in control. For a second there, I really thought that tractor was going all the way over. Two gallons of gas for 2 hours of work isn't bad at all. I just wonder if it could handle the mud any better if the tracks were wider. Still, it hasn't slipped once on that incline. The wind is really whipping those branches around right now. It looks like a tough spot for an axe cut, especially since those gusts keep pushing the tree's weight back the wrong way. You're watching the final stress test of the Pezzolato PTH 1400/1000. They're pushing 31-inch logs through the 55-inch inlet to make sure the 700 horsepower Volvo power plant stays cool under pressure. It's all about making sure the 500 cubic yards per hour production is consistent and reliable for the new owner. She's giving it a shot. Sometimes experience is the only teacher, even if it's a bit scary to watch. You guys see this? They're just swapping out the bucket for a timber harvester head on this excavator. Look at that incline. Even in dry weather, this hill is a nightmare. But trying to haul a full load up this mud is just next level.
Sit on the rope. Be a trampoline there. Yeah, I better hold on.
You hate to see it. I think just one loose rope could have changed everything here. Believe it or not, this beast is homemade. That rotating splitter head is the real star here, letting them pick the perfect wedge for every log. So this DIY stump grinder just got a massive hydraulic upgrade. The creator swapped in a 22.5 horsepower engine and those green teeth, making it a real powerhouse for backyard clearing.
Oh shit. Hey, watch out, Kenny, watch out.
The problem starts with overloading, causing the road to fail. Now the rear wheels are buried and the front axle is light, killing traction. I don't know about effective, but that cable setup is clearly hazardous. Look at those guys standing so close. He's totally in the snapback zone if that line breaks. Edge of a cliff, tiny bit of space, giant rig, and somehow he still pulls the turnoff. The driver handled it like a pro, but man, my heart was in my throat the whole time. They're called a Wagner L120, built for grabbing an entire stack at once. It's moving slower here, probably because the operator is still getting the feel for it. Have you ever seen this hydraulic wedge used before? It looks way safer than the old hammer method. What do you think? The operator must be having the best day ever. There's no better feeling than firing up a brand new $70,000 plus machine for its very first job. This 7015 TRX stump grinder must be the 74 horsepower model. It's the perfect size, big enough for heavy work, but small enough for tight backyard jobs. Look at that technique. He's through the log, perfect plunge cuts. That's a professional operator's speed. Direct hit on the controls. Pretty impressive aim for an accidental drop. That's one way to unload without a forklift. A rough method on the chassis, but it works. It looks like he forgot to detach his anchor from the section being cut. He is incredibly lucky to walk away after being tossed around like a pinball. I'm honestly so relieved he's okay. That situation was way too close for comfort. Watching this is a perfect example of what not to do in forestry.
Like fucking dominoes.
It is.
Those are literal widowmakers.
That's a wrap.
He'll lean, and I don't really even know if it's hollow or not, but it probably is.
That tree is 10 feet wide, while the saw bar is only 42 inches. That means he had to time every cut from different sides perfectly to meet in the middle. Truly a masterclass in precision falling right there.
We got him. So, and the sun's coming out. Take my rain gear off.
Every gear shift and every turn is a battle against the terrain. It's humble work, but the skill level required to keep that load upright is absolutely top tier. They're treating this poor Zill like an Ural. It's struggling, but holding on. One bad anchor point and the whole situation just escalates fast. That's the thing about backyard logging. Heavy load for this Mac. Looks like the differential isn't locking up, making it harder to get traction. The Clearman HD 848 uses a dual head system to handle even the curved logs. This US-made machine is famous for its heavy-duty hydraulic setup and high-speed operation. Meet the Hambach electric chainsaw unit for firewood machines. It swaps gas for a 7.5 horsepower electric motor featuring a clever self-lubricating system built into the pivot. Cutting at that height? Yeah, there's zero room for mistakes. A rainstorm left the ground soaked and brought this tree down across the street. The fallen cables stayed energized, causing that bright plasma fire you see. It's a textbook example of how a safety fuse pops to kill the current. look at that LKT struggling with the massive weight. This isn't your typical easy Pinewood downhill run. That engine is really screaming today. Next time you're complaining about the price, just remember this video. This driver is literally dancing with death on a goat path near Bellingham just so we can have lumber. It's not just overpriced firewood when you see what it takes to get it down. If we have a few more storms like this, we won't have any forests left. This is actually a B-double configuration. It's pretty common for timber transport in certain parts of Europe. That birch tree looks small, but the roots are surprisingly deep. It's taking more effort than I'd think.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Das hätte ich so nicht gedacht.
Never seen anything like this. Is that actual sap or something else? I'm honestly impressed by the bravery. Cutting a beech tree like this takes a special kind of person, that's for sure. Fun fact, the MP3 was the last Actros generation to feature the classic V engines. This 2648 unit is pulling a heavy timber trailer effortlessly through the mud. Check out how massive this Wagner L490 actually is when it approaches the truck. We're looking at a machine designed to grab an entire load of logs in just one pass. It's honestly wild seeing the scale of those front claws compared to the trailer. Stick around to see how easily it lifts the whole thing. Moving inside the factory now, where things get incredibly fast. This Vantech setup from Brazil is a beast when it comes to veneer peeling. It's a very satisfying process to watch, especially seeing how it handles that 2.8 meter width. They've got the truck, the ropes, and the gear, but nobody bothered to check if the tree was actually aimed at the shed.
Hole in the roof. I'm trying to zoom in and take a regular picture.
It's one of those DIY moments where you realize a professional would have been much cheaper. A brutal reminder of how quickly things can go wrong up in the canopy. You guys have to see this antique sawmill in action. It's been in the family since the Great Depression, and they've still got it running like a charm today. Truly incredible stuff. Ever heard of a scisswheel cut? It gives the hinge more room to pull before the tree breaks off, helping it land exactly where they need it.
Now you can't tell me that don't work. Good old scissor wheel.
You're looking at a perfect handoff between road and rail here. This walled contour setup shows how a skilled driver can swing logs from their truck straight onto the train cars without wasting a single second. It's smooth. The IMT 558 is a legendary Serbian tractor built under Massey Ferguson license. Watch it haul 420 cubic feet of timber through deep mud, using its rear winch for self-recovery in extreme conditions. The tree won this round, and it wasn't even close. So, the plan was a DIY flower pot, but wood doesn't exactly melt like steel does. It's a cool experiment to watch, guys. Here we are watching a century-old shingle mill slice through timber like it was built yesterday at the Kamung Valley Farm Show.
You're pulling it off the tape. Hold up, slide down a little.
Saving a few thousand on a tree crew while risking your entire backyard structure in seconds. He's incredibly lucky that Branch didn't kick back, because at 30 feet up,
Good job,
there is
Popeye.
absolutely zero room for error. Ponzi is a top-tier Finnish brand, and this 2015 Ergo proves why. It balances heavy-duty hydraulic power with a manageable fuel burn of roughly 4 to 5 gallons hourly. Heli logging looks expensive because it is, but when you hit a cliff where roads can't go, this becomes the only way to move those money logs.
Ready?
Taking stuff a bit too far is human nature, but this was next level. Word is that flywheel weighs nearly 400 pounds. It's likely salvaged from an old factory shaft to get that massive momentum. The setup works great for soft wood, but I wonder how it would handle a tough, knotty piece of dry oak or beech. That log is way beyond the loader's comfort zone. Gravity just took over. Took me at least 3 reviews to get what was going on. Modern harvesting in Thuringia relies on machines like the John Deere 1270D harvester. Pairing it with a LogMax 6000 head makes it ideal for heavy timber. It grabs, fells, delimbs, and bucks a full-size tree in one pass. The level of efficiency is honestly staggering to watch. The Ural 5E57 truck is just a true off-road beast. It looks like absolutely nothing can stop it on a firewood run. The ingenuity is there, but that wooden frame flexes way too much. It's a smart DIY, but it's just not as safe or accurate as a modern metal mill. That 8-ton log lifts steadier than expected, and it almost feels like just another day at the office for these guys. All right, he's committing to the turn. Full load. The trailer is dragging hard through the mud. You can see the wheels spin. He's fighting the steering. Solid. That confident shortcut just cost him a $50,000 truck. This was a terrible idea. So beautiful. The landscape, the tree, the colors, the skill of Lumberjack. They make a dangerous job look easy. Looks like a picture of a painting master. This really shows you can't judge a book by its cover. The outside is dark, lumpy, and just plain ugly. A real monster. But the sawmill shows the inside is packed with this amazing color and value. The sheer size combined with that surreal color is simply stunning, a truly eye-opening display. That's rough work. A stump grinder would have saved a lot of trouble, and yanking those roots could easily stress that house. The yard's definitely going to need a serious touch-up. Something like this Kubota BX stump grinder would have been way better for a yard. Here's a close look at the Ponce Ergo 8W harvester working in what the Germans call Starkholz, strong, thick timber. With logs this big, that 8-wheel base has to be rock solid. Otherwise, it's not getting the job done. Another day in the woods, another lesson learned. Thanks for hanging out with Machine Universe today. We'll see you in the next one.